Elizabeth Converse, and we are here today with Senator Lincoln Fillmore. Hi, Senator. How are you doing?
Hi, good, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited about your bill. It's SB 95 for those who are out there looking for it on the legislative website. But tell us about what it actually does.
It really sets up businesses that provide a service on the same level playing field that we have for other businesses that sell to the public. So I own a bakery and we bake cakes, and I don't pay sales tax on my flour or my sugar or eggs or butter or the packaging. And the reason for that is because I charge sales tax on everything I sell. And there are a couple of basic principles regarding tax policy that are very important there. And one of those is transparency, that the public deserves to know when they're charged a tax, that's the tax and that's the cost of your government. And the second thing is that you should tax things one time at the end. And those two principles really go together, because if you layer taxes in between, every time a product or good changes hands before it gets to the final consumer, what you're doing is hiding a lot of tax that ultimately is paid by a consumer on the back end without letting that consumer know what they're buying. And so we're trying to make it so that service-based industries that charge sales tax on their service, there are a handful of those in Utah, don't have to pay sales tax on the products that they use that go into that service. And a very easy example to cite here is dry cleaning. Dry cleaning is taxable in Utah. And so when you go drop off your clothes at the dry cleaner, you'll pay sales tax when you pick them up. But the dry cleaner also pays sales tax on soap, on water, on the chemicals that they use to clean, on the hangers that they put your clothes on. Even though all of those things, the tax they pay on all those things is then baked in to the price that they charge you. So you're paying all of the taxes that that company has paid, plus a sales tax on top of that. And in that way, we're just hiding the actual cost of government from the taxpayer. And that's the problem that we're looking to try and solve.
So, how do you think that this might affect the tech industry moving forward?
I hope that it will make the tech industry more competitive. It will certainly save some businesses in that sector from paying sales tax on the goods that they buy that then go into what they sell on the back end. And in that way, I hope it makes Utah's tech industry more competitive with those around the country. But really, it should really just set that level playing field so that the service sector and the tech service sector is no longer at a competitive disadvantage.
So, this stacking of sales tax is something that our industry had a very large concern with in the tax reform bill that was passed and then rescinded a while back. Do you think that this might pave the way for another tax reform bill that has less controversial decisions made inside of it?
I certainly hope that it will be a down payment on the future simplification and transparency of the tax code. I doubt in the near term we'll see a big omnibus, big tax reform package like we saw in 2019 and 2020. But I do hope that it sets the standard and the expectation that we're going to simplify and make more transparent the tax code. I think certainly business owners understand that businesses do not pay tax. They collect tax, right? And even if the state collects that tax from the business is going to collect it from its customer. And no business can operate if it cannot collect the taxes that it pays from its customer, right? Because ultimately businesses like that will shut down. And we just need to recognize that fact, that all taxes, whether we say they're business taxes or not, are paid for by the end consumer. And we just need to be really clear and transparent about that so that taxpayers, the consumers of these final products, know what tax they're paying.
Definitely. And you mentioned dry cleaners earlier. Are there other different industries that you think are really going to support this going forward?
Clearly, we've got Silicon Slopes of support, for which I'm grateful. Car washes are kind of a different example, where some car washes are taxable in Utah and some aren't. It's one of those things where our tax code is unnecessarily complicated in ways that we would hope to have it simplified. But yeah, there are about 33 to 35 taxable services in Utah. And this will make transparency and simplicity more applicable in all those industries.
And during the tax reform debate, that was a big issue, is the simplicity of the tax structure and how
Yep.
how scary and daunting it can be when to start a new business. I'm sure when you started your bakery, learning all of the ins and outs of actually running a company like that was kind of a big deal. You have to do it to start a company. And that
Yeah.
might be really inspiring to know if I wanted to start a small business or if somebody else wanted to start a small business, it was all cut and dry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Simplicity is key to business success, right? If the tax environment is too complicated or unpredictable or opaque to the point where you can't make sense of it, it becomes very difficult to operate a profitable business because just can't make a budget. Yeah, we need to make sure that every business owner and every consumer knows what their tax liability is and will be based on their success.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time and we look forward to supporting you in the future.
Thanks, Elizabeth. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.